The pervert. Most tsunderes, plot armor, overpowered MCs with bland personalities, way too much fan service, the list goes on. As an anime fan, there are many tropes that I'm bored with or I just straight up dislike, especially amnesia. So many times in anime or video games, you find characters who have amnesia and the plot resolves around getting their memories back. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Mare, Jojolion, Final Fantasy 6 through 8, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Danganronpa, Big O, Amnesia, the anime or video game. I feel like no matter what you watch or play, 1 out of 3 series that you'll get into will have this overused trope. And unfortunately, One Piece does it too. Have you ever played a crappy video game and thought to yourself, man, I wish they just make like a super mid 5-episode anime arc about this. Be so good. Well, that's exactly what One Piece did with the Ocean's Dream arc. Originally a PS1 game in 2003, Ocean's Dream follows the Straw Hats who've had their memories stolen by a strange kid and his seahorse. Stranded on an island, they must recover their memories with the help of our honorary Straw Hat, Bon Clay. How do you play the game? No clue. I have no idea what's going on. Then in 2005, after the overhated Long Ring Long Land arc, we get the Ocean's Dream filler arc that loosely follows the same plot as the game. Except there's no Bon Clay, so that means it's literally the worst piece of fiction ever created. Today, I'm here to answer the question, is the Ocean's Dream arc just that forgettable? Or are we all sleeping on peak? So try to remember what you had for dinner last night, never trust anyone, and go look at some seahorses as we wake up to the Ocean's Dream filler arc, a fight for memories. After having to suffer through the Foxy arc, the Straw Hats take a well-deserved rest. Except for Robin, who spends the night reading Morning Glory Milking Farm. Do not look it up. It seems like an ordinary night, but little do they know of the terrors that reside in the sea. As a strange kid carrying a seahorse-shaped instrument blows a loud horn. I have several questions, but I feel like my main thing is, I don't know if you could hear an instrument from underwater. Could you?
You're not gonna believe this!
Dawn breaks, and right when Robin finishes her naughty novel, Nami wakes up with a strange look on her face.
Who are you?
What the fuck?!
All of a sudden, none of the Straw Hats recognize each other. Chopper, Sanji, Usopp, Nami, and even our captain, Monkey D. Luffy, have had their memories reset to episode 1 of the series.
Oh no. Guys! I lost my memories too! Oh god. I don't remember my family, my friends, my bank information. Oh my god. I don't even remember my own name! What am I gonna do?
I'm Luffy, the man who's gonna be king of the pirates.
It's pretty bad that Nami and Chopper lost their memories. Cause for Nami, that means that she goes back to being someone who absolutely despises pirates and will do anything to steal their treasure. She kind of already does that. And thinking that she is still part of Arlong's crew and needing to save up as much money as she can to buy back Kokoyashi Village, despite the fact that it's already safe. And then for Chopper, he goes back to absolutely being terrified and hating humans and all of his insecurities with being a monster. However, it's not as bad as Robin, because I feel like if Robin lost her memories, then some of the Straw Hats would be dead. Usopp uses this opportunity to trick everyone into thinking they are part of the Usopp Pirates. But even without their memories, Luffy and Sanji can smell bullshit. Meeting up with the gals, Robin explains to everyone of the current situation with being in the Grand Line. Sanji, and especially Nami, don't believe all this nonsense, but when Nami looks around, she finds Bellamare's Tangerine Garden, family photo, and travelogue with her handwriting. Completely lost and confused, Nami is determined to head back and save Kokoyashi Village.
Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. What about Zoro?
Oh fuck. Zoro also lost his memories, reverting back to being a broke pirate hunter. And after hearing about the oh-so-great Captain Usopp, he's ready to make some money. But Nami interrupts the occasion by stealing the waiver and treasure from Skypiea. And with Zoro's murder boner ruined, he also heads out to the nearby island. Nami lands on Ignorance Island. Walking around the village, she notices the place seems pretty empty, but once the newspaper comes in, the whole village erupts into violence. The villagers fight to the death for the morning newspaper and run back into their homes before Nami can even blink.
Look, I like the little Garfield comics they have on newspapers as much as the next guy, but I'm not gonna fight anybody over it. Maybe if it was Calvin and Hobbes, I might slaughter a family. Maybe.
Nami runs into the spooky kid from earlier, not realizing who he truly is. The kid tries to trick Nami into staying on the island, but she's locked in on a mission to save her village.
Well, I'm feeling kind of worn out. I'd better head on home.
Meanwhile, Zoro aura farms on the island and spends half the episode reminiscing about his promise to Kawina. Back to the Straw Hats, Robin fills the gang in on everything that's happened after Alabasta to Long Ring Long Land with the hopes it'll jog their memories, but to no avail.
Can't really say I buy every aspect of her story, but she's got one piece of...
Robin makes the connection that everyone who fell asleep last night lost their memories and they all had one thing in common. They all saw a dumb little bitch boy kid in their dreams with a stupid fuck-ass 1930s horn he probably bought at Goodwill for like $41.75. And speak of the devil, the reject band kid is here, hoping to munch on some more memories. Luffy doesn't care about all that because he's pissed that some dork stole his seat and he goes to take it back. Slapping the seahorse out of the kid's hands causes some weird pixie dust to shoot out and envelop our captain. When the dust settles and the kid leaves, a miracle occurs. Monkey D. Luffy got his memories back. With Luffy's memories back, he's determined to rescue Zoro and Nami.
I'm all for bringing that lovely lady Nami back, but not that Zoro guy. He can just stay gone for all I care.
I'm starting to think maybe Sanji didn't lose his memories.
Right, but we should wait until morning. Let's get some rest, and then we'll begin our search when the sun comes up.
Yeah, Robin, let's sleep on an unknown island where a strange kid will steal our memories if we take a nap. She's supposed to be the smart one.
The next day, Luffy's team heads up to Ignorance Island to begin their search for Nami and Zoro, and oh shit, they found Nami.
Oh crap!
Nami reluctantly agrees to tag along once she realizes the kid from earlier was responsible for taking their memories. Unbothered by everything, Zoro just continues to train and aura farm. Impressed with his Bushido, the spooky boy tries to convince the swordsman to fight the rubber guy, but Zoro is annoyed with the seemingly fake stories. So Spooky Boy uses his powers to hypnotize Zoro into his mindless servant with one mission: to kill Monkey D. Luffy. The Amnesia Hats travel further into the forest and find a place called Sea God's Palace. Robin uses her special ability, Reading, to decipher the text and learns the truth of this island. As they continue walking along the island, they come across Zoro, but instead of a happy reunion, it's a fight to the death as he starts attacking Luffy.
Let's be real, guys. Zoro is strong, but he's not beating Luffy, and we seriously need to come to terms with it. Well, egg on my face.
JK, get trolled, Roanoa Simps, aka me. Luffy tells the crew to leave while he mid-dips this fight, spending more time dodging than actually attacking because he doesn't want to hurt his friend. Zoro is the one who gave him the scar. Oh. This whole time I thought it was the magma guy. On its own, as a fight, Luffy versus Zoro in Whiskey Peak was way better. It was a fight with two dudes duking it out, trying to actually kill each other. Granted, the reasoning behind the fight was absolutely stupid and one of the dumbest things that ever happened in the series. Here, it's not really much of a fight because all it is just Luffy trying to defend Zoro's attacks versus actually fighting back. But I mean, here the reasoning makes a little bit more sense because, you know, he's being controlled versus Luffy's dumb thing with like, oh, you ate all the food, I'm gonna beat you up. Whatever. Meanwhile, Robin's team heads up to the Sea God's palace, but Nami decides to be annoying and explains to everyone that our beloved archaeologist is trying to trick them all into following her. Nami begs the crew to come with her so they can all go home. A classic Nami versus Robin debate. A tale as old as time.
I really can't blame you for not putting your trust in me since you've lost your memory. But whether you believe me or not, I ask that you follow me.
Hey, look. Sorry, Nami. But even if Robin did betray me, took us into the back of those woods to shoot me in the head, and then chop up my body and serve my remains to hungry, starving kids in Alabasta, I'd happily go with her. There is no contest.
And looks like Sanji and Chopper agree with me as they tag along with the 6'1" queen to get their memories and teach the spooky boy a lesson. Usopp doesn't really want to go, but the thought of not being able to remember anything doesn't feel right, so he joins. And Nami only goes because Sanji still has the treasure. Arriving at the Sea God's palace, they are greeted to the spooky boy who tries to take Nami and Usopp's memories.
It's not really my style to kick a kid, but
I got it! Alright. Arc over. Sanji kicks away the seahorse. When the kid wakes up, he has no recollection of what's going on and runs away. Robin explains that the spooky boy wasn't the one responsible. It was the seahorse. Sanji then spends like 5 minutes kicking the shit out of the sea god and manages to get everyone's memories back. And just when it seems like things are starting to look up, Zoro emerges victorious from his battle with Luffy and is ready for more. The Zoro fanboys are not gonna shut up about this. The Sea God commands Zoro to take out the rest of the Straw Hats. Sanji flies up into the sky to defend his queens, but realizes Zoro got his memories back and Luffy is perfectly fine. With everyone back to normal, they capture the Sea God, but the creature uses his last resort. Using the memories of the Straw Hats, the Sea God summons images of the people closest to the Straw Hats. Bellamere, Dr. Heerlook, Kuina, Kaya, Redfoot Zeph, Ace, and Shanks.
Oh, Robin, look! It's me, DJ, your best friend and future love interest. Don't you recognize me? God, I hope this works.
The Sea God then turns the good memories into images of all the villains they faced. Stunning the Straw Hats with a flash of light, he takes the pirates' memories one more time and transforms. From a tiny seahorse, he has finally achieved his dream. The Sea God has been gathering the memories of everyone on the island in hopes of becoming a millennial dragon and flies high into the sky. And once again, One Piece just keeps connecting the dots, because those dragons are the exact same dragons from the Warship Island filler arc. I've mentioned this before in my Rainbow Mist and G8 filler arc reviews, but I love that One Piece just has its own separate filler universe, and really the fact that all of them are connected and referenced back like this makes it worth it just to watch them all. This time, the Sea God took so much of the memories that nobody even knows their own name. But Luffy's curiosity and love of adventure can never be taken away. Without even knowing he has Devil Fruit powers, Luffy launches himself at the Sea God. The impact causes the discount Millennial Dragon to spill out some memories. Back to his old self, Luffy punches the Sea God and sends him flying like he's Team Rocket, spilling out the memories of the whole island, bringing everything and everyone back to normal. The Straw Hats return to the island, hoping to be rewarded for saving the island, but Drim,
we don't learn his name till like the end of the arc,
says they are responsible for stealing the town's memories, and they chase the crew off the island.
They've left me no other choice!
I'm gonna need therapy after that.
And so, with the death of a whole island on their hands, the Straw Hats sail out of filler into the Water 7 saga. And that's the end for the Ocean's Dream filler arc. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable. I do like the initial setup of this arc, and having Robin, the newest crew member, be the only one who still has her memories and trying to get all of the Straw Hats back together again is a pretty interesting premise. But I just kind of wish we had maybe like an extra episode just to really see how the Straw Hats would interact or what they would do without their memories just stuck in the middle of the Grand Line. Like, I want to see all the crazy things that they would potentially get into. And then I know I talk about in my previous videos how I like that the filler arcs are more low stakes, but I feel like this one was a little too low stakes because it's just, the villain was boring as shit. Like, let's be real. It was boring as hell. Not really all that interesting. And then just like, again, I'm just kind of tired of the whole amnesia thing. Like, I'm glad that at least One Piece, this is a filler arc, and it's not like the entire storyline is Luffy has amnesia and he needs to find the One Piece to remember who he is. That would suck. I would hate that. But I do appreciate that the filler tries to do different topics, different tropes, and just, you know, adds a new layer to the whole One Piece story, which is pretty nice, pretty interesting. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts for the Ocean's Dream filler arc. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Alright, Frankie, now it's your turn to be in a filler arc. Whoa, who let the ace reject join the party? And what's with the stupid tattoo? A family of bounty hunters versus a family of pirates. Should be easy, but it's filler, so this'll take forever. Next time on One Piece, the Ice Hunters filler arc. A complete waste of your time.